All right, we have a really special episode today. I'm super excited. I'll be honest, I'm a little nervous.
Me too.
It's the first of many to come, I hope, in similar episodes. Um, I don't even know how to explain it. We have a guest today. We've had one guest before, a friend of ours, Skill. This is a guest which we didn't know apart from through the podcast. He's a musician, independent musician, an indie artist, bilingual indie artist. His name is Nico Play, and I'm super happy to be here, to have him here. I'm a little nervous. Can you tell? I'm really excited. I really like his music. Just a little bit about him. His name is Nick Perea. Nico Play is a bilingual project of Nicolas Perea. He was born in Mexico City, born in 1996, and currently he's based in Richmond, Virginia. He's known by friends as Nick or Nico by family members. He writes songs both in English and Spanish, so that resonated a lot with me, and I'm sure with you as well. Being bilingual, we both enjoy both types of languages in our music. So yeah, we're gonna bring him in here, and we're just gonna have a conversation. Maybe, hopefully, highlight a few clips of his music, and we hope you guys enjoy.
Hey, Nico.
Hey, Nico, how you doing? Oh, let me see.
Oh, I got you. I can hear you now.
Awesome.
Yay.
Hey, how's it going?
As soon as we entered the call, we found some technical difficulties, but we got on track pretty quickly.
You have a really good camera.
Yeah.
was my iMac.
Oh, that Apple world, huh? That actually, that's kind of a good way to start, because I was actually going to ask you, one of the main questions that I wanted to ask you was a lot of gear associated stuff. So are you mostly a Mac user when in terms of recording stuff and kind of putting things down?
Yeah, so I have yes, I have an iMac. That's how I do pretty much everything. I have like a tape machine. Here, I don't know if you can see it, but basically I record onto like a tape machine, and then from the tape machine I go to Logic.
Okay.
So I'll do the thing can do 8 tracks on the tape machine, so I do as much as I can there, and then I bounce it, and then I'm on iMac.
I bet that gives you that like really nice lo-fi sound.
Yeah, it's cool. It's definitely like a little impractical at times, but
yeah, I'm sure it's like a lot of work to get to the end product, right?
yeah,
it
is. But it's cool. I like it.
One thing I wanted to do for any of our viewers out there, I wanted to just kind of take them through my journey of discovering you. So if you don't mind, I just wanted to bring up a few TikToks and just kind of show them how I found out about you, and maybe even shout out your TikTok and your YouTube channel out there.
Yeah, feel free.
Yeah, let me
My
see.
TikTok, still do it. But yeah.
No, and I'm honestly really, really impressed, because I see that you've actually had a lot of growth in the last couple
Days.
How would you say, the last couple weeks or so, right? Like when I found you, I think you were at like 400 or 300 followers, and you're up at 600 now, even growing from there.
Yeah, I started. I had like 30 followers for a long time, and then I made a video like a month ago that did well. That was like the first one that I was like, I didn't really understand TikTok, and like I was just doing it because I had my friend Benet, who's an artist. They were telling me we were like chatting about music stuff at one point, and they were like, dude, you should like just do TikTok, like.
Yeah.
And they were telling me that they had a song. They had like a video that it didn't go like super viral, but it had like, I don't know the exact number, but it was like thousands of people saw it or whatever. And from that, like that song blew up kind of, or like a lot of people found out about it, and like people liked it. Obviously it's like a really good song, but like once people found out about it, they like kept listening to it, and now that song is like a little source of income for Benet. So
Yay.
They were just telling me like, dude, just make TikToks because they can totally help, and it has helped for me as well. But yeah, I had one video do like kind of well where I was like, oh shit, like you know, it got like 10,000 views or whatever. I was
Oh
like, oh
wow.
wow, I had like no followers, so I don't know how that happened, but yeah. And then from then, of course, like I was like, oh well, this is working. And I had people, yeah, just from that first video, a lot of like people commenting like, oh, I like went and listened to it and I like the song. People started following me on like Instagram, and I was like, and then I looked at Spotify the next day, and I was like, oh, people like actually listen to it. So that was very cool for me, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely.
Are you nervous?
Huh?
Are you nervous or excited about the new stuff coming up? Like with the new engagement that you see on TikTok?
No, it's exciting. I mean, it feels great to like have some sort of little breakthrough. I do think it's weird. I think to just the whole like TikTok viral sort of thing because it's so unpredictable that I think it's not necessarily the best thing. I think mentally for an artist, like because basically what you're doing is kind of just like playing a little lottery where you like promote yourself and then hoping, just like crossing your fingers and hoping that like the slot machine like algorithm works out and you get like
Yeah.
3 things in a row and then cha-ching, the machine goes and you get a bunch of views. It's kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like a lottery sort of thing, which is not necessarily, I don't know. I try to I don't think it's like the healthiest thing, basically,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely exciting. I mean, it's so hard to make money off music these days that like anything you can do to like get people to listen to your music is totally valid. I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, TikTok in general, I totally understand what you mean about it being almost like a slot machine. But I mean, I found you through TikTok, and it's exactly the type of music I'm into. I mean, we're into a lot of different types of music. I'm a big metalhead back in the day, but currently I'm way more into like the indie, Crumb, the Marias, Repila, a lot of different artists of that nature. So when I first heard you, it just kind of baffled my mind. I saw your follower count. I'm like, this guy, no, there's no way. Like, he's got to have way more followers than what I'm seeing on here. Um, that does remind me though. I'm just really curious. Like, do TikTok plays affect your Spotify plays? Is that tied to each other in any way?
I don't think so. I don't think they're no. I don't think they're tied to it all, and I don't think I don't get paid for any TikTok sounds. I don't think anybody does get paid for like the sounds on TikTok.
Yeah.
I think it's just like people who see the video with the sound and then are want to go ahead and listen to it on Spotify as well. Then you'll like see that, and that's like you get some money for that if it's enough people. But
Yeah.
that's like also crazy hard to do. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on Instagram, sometimes I feel it's not really an artistic platform for us. We do kind of express a lot of different emotions, a lot of different. It's more a writing experience for us, and kind of sharing photography. Even there, it kind of does feel a little bit like when you're on there for too long, creating content on a daily basis, it does affect your mental health in a way where you're
So
kind of focusing on it a little too much. And then as a musician, I can imagine it can start making you feel like your music, like, well, what am I doing here? Like, it starts making it not be as valuable, maybe.
totally. Yeah, I mean, I think just the way that, because I don't know, making music is one thing, and promoting it on social media is a completely different thing.
Oh
And,
yeah.
and
And I had a question. I kind of want to get into one of your songs because one of my favorite songs by you is Bluff. Um, I gotta say, Discoteca is a close second. I really love that song, but you got me, you hooked me in with Bluff, so I do have to shout that out. Um, Honestly, the music video really impressed me too.
oh yeah,
Um, yeah. Steph hasn't seen the music video, and we were thinking of trying to do like a reaction where we're not showing the music video in the future. But I just wanted to bring up one scene and kind of get your own perspective on it. Just maybe you can kind of give us a little more perspective on. Well, did you have any kind of artistic choices in terms of the filming of the music video for Bluff, or was it kind of more? Did you collaborate with other people in terms of making it?
Yeah, so I had this my friend Malcolm in Chicago. He like filmed it, directed it, edited it. Um, so it was and it was basically just him kind of. And then my friend Claire also like co-produced it, um, and like helped us with the space that we filmed at, and kind of like casted the actors who were really just kind of like friends. So between Malcolm and Claire, they pretty much like helped all the pieces come together. But yeah, definitely as far as like film. I mean, I had my ideas and like my like the concept, and I just like Malcolm, Claire, and I would like talk about it leading up to it, up to the filming. But as far as like the actual like cinematography type stuff, like what angles and like um, when to zoom in and like how basically like how it was edited, that was all pretty much Malcolm.
Okay. Oh, because there's one scene, and I'll bring it up here really quickly, just to kind of get your take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's this right here. So the one thing I want to say before we get into it, I just loved how diverse the cast of people that you guys had for the video, and I love what they did with what you guys did with just the filming, because there's certain parts where, as they'll show here, they're just sitting at a table, and the videography, in my opinion, is really, really great. Like, it made me feel captured by the video. And I'll just play it real quick, and then maybe you can kind of just give us your thoughts on it.
Yep.
I really think like the cast of people you guys have and like the angles, everything they did on there, it's just it serves it so well. It really does. I found myself just rewatching the video over and over on some days.
I like the close-ups.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a big like yeah, Malcolm is really really good at it, and it like the cast of people, like everything just came together really um like easily, and it just everything kind of fell in the right place. I feel like that video, everything just kind of worked out really well, and it was a lot of fun to make that video. I'm actually going back. I'm going to Chicago next week to film a video.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Honestly, I would say if you can, like even on your phone, just record some behind the scenes, and like you could release a whole different video that's just kind of behind the scenes in the future for people that are ever curious about that. Because that's something I would love to see myself, at least.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Any bloopers too?
Yeah, like any like little bloopers you can throw in there.
Yeah, bloopers are great. I really love bloopers. Yeah.
That kind of ties in because in that same part we were just watching right after, there's a part in the video where obviously right before we brought you in, we introduced you to whoever's watching, and you're a bilingual artist, which is something that just grabbed me right away, because it's something where me as a musician, when I do make music and I think about lyrics, although I'm not very great at it, I see myself wanting to incorporate English and Spanish, and I keep myself from it because I almost feel like people won't understand it. But I love that you, in the video, as there's like Spanish lyrics, you guys actually put subtitles for the English part of it, like, or for the Spanish part of it, so people could understand. Was that your decision, or was it something where
Yeah, yeah, I was. I mean, specifically because those two, because it's not for all of the lyrics. It's just for I think two lines that are in Spanish, but they're very literally relevant in the context of the video. Because the lyrics of the song, they kind of like, you know, go into different directions, like, I guess. But the concept of the video being like the dice game,
Mm-hmm.
just those two lines are like very literally related to the game. So that's why those lines are highlighted there.
And honestly, I love that because like you're saying, like I noticed that the lyrics themselves, they could be applied to a lot of different things. And I personally love lyrics like that because whoever listens to them can make them what they want to make them. They could make them about their own personal situation. And I feel like it grows with people. It makes people feel connected to the song. So with those lyrics, once you put them, when you put the subtitles, like I found myself even more grabbed by the video. Like as I'm watching it and I read the lyrics, I'm just like, oh yes, this is exactly what I would want. Just in case, it really solidifies it in my opinion.
Right, right, right. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, of course.
What kind of inspired you to write the song Bluff?
So I wrote the song a little while before. No, I think I wrote the song in like right before COVID, like right, I think like February maybe. Um, and I was in Chicago, and that's when I wrote the music, and it was just like a quick demo that I made, and then obviously COVID hit, and I moved, and I was living with my family, and we were spending a lot of time together playing like a Mexican dice game that's called Cubilete.
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys know that game, but
I might know it by a different name, but because I've played a couple different Mexican dice games.
mm, yeah, it's sort of like poker with dice, kind of. But um, but anyway, yeah, we were playing a lot of that, and like a lot. It was like obviously there was nothing else to do. If you remember, like lockdown, it was.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, seems like just a crazy different time, but yeah, yeah. So I was just spending. It was like basically every night, just my family would have dinner, and then we'd like play dice, and then I started playing like with close friends, people in like my little bubble. So that game became like just such a big part of my life for months, and it was like the main source of entertainment, and also it was like the only bright part of the whole being in a lockdown. I was like,
Yeah.
I was kind of going crazy, like everybody, just being stuck inside and not being able to see anybody. But playing that game really was fun, and I enjoyed it every time. And like we wouldn't get sick of it, and so we just kept. Yeah, it was just like a little. Yeah, it was just a really nice, bright, like fun part of an otherwise terrible time, basically. And then, yeah, I was writing the song and different concepts. I was like dealing with a lot of things at the time, but sort of using the game of dice as a metaphor, and yeah, that's basically it. I was using the game of dice as a metaphor and a way of expressing things that I was going through at the time. So that's what inspired the song, the lyrics, and the video. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because during COVID, my family kind of did something similar. It was just poker. It wasn't like the dice game, but it's like every other day we'd end up playing, and it was something that just kind of grounded us together, and it did bring like this ray of sunlight or sunshine just into our lives when everything is dark. There we are, like playing with masks on, not knowing what's gonna happen next, but it was a lot of fun.
Mm.
So, I'm curious because so you were born in Mexico City, right?
Yeah, I was.
So how old were you when you came to the States, if you don't mind me asking?
I was 6.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, because I was actually 5 years old when I came. I was born in Mexico as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in León, Guanajuato, a little far away, farther out. But
But
is there?
same sort of thing. I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah, the barriers, the language barriers, the kind of I don't know. I always felt like I didn't quite fit in where I was, even when I was
Yeah,
amongst other like Mexican and Hispanic people that were born over here.
yeah, totally. It's yeah, it's definitely a weird thing where like you don't really belong either in either place really, a little bit, or it can feel like that easily, but
Yeah. Have you gone back to Mexico since you came over here?
yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of my family's still there. Like all my cousins, pretty much. I don't want to say all my family because that's not true, but the side of my family that I'm closer with, which is my dad's side, um, like they're all in Mexico, pretty much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other musicians in the family by chance?
I mean, yeah, my brother plays guitar. My dad plays guitar.
Okay.
Um, I think my grandmother plays guitar. I think I know she like played piano, and then yeah, like I have a cousin that's like a DJ. Actually, I think I have two cousins that are DJs, and another cousin that plays piano. Yeah, but like as far as like people that write songs, no, I don't think I have any relatives that write or release any.
Music. Did you? I'm curious because I'm someone that I've been playing music since I was maybe 10 years old. I started with violin, and then when I couldn't play violin anymore, because I moved away from a place that had an orchestra, I taught myself guitar. I'm someone that I can't really put together songs that well. I can come up with riffs and I can jam all day, but did you find that there was like a process from going from just playing and jamming to actually composing a song or writing it out?
Yeah, I think honestly, I started with writing really,
Okay.
and I think it was because I wasn't very good at playing guitar, but for whatever reason, I felt inspired to write things. Um, so I
Regarding
pretty
that.
much like from the from the very beginning when I was like learning how to play guitar, basically, I was writing stuff pretty much. I mean, I think I remember learning chords by like doing covers, but even before I learned how to do like play basic chords and do covers, I was just like writing really bad songs that were just like I just but writing, yeah, I think I pretty much if I when I really think about it, I kind of learned how to write and play at the same time.
Oh, that's awesome. Is there an instrument you find yourself enjoying more, or is it mostly just guitar that you end up playing? Because I saw a TikTok of you doing that Nirvana cover, which I thought was probably one of the better renditions I've heard in a long time. I really enjoyed that on TikTok.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you find yourself liking other instruments more than guitar?
I like it all. I mean, I'm probably out of all instruments, I'm probably the most comfortable on guitar. It's like what I played the most. But I mean, I really like and I really enjoy recording bass. It's just fun. I like writing bass parts. I have fun doing that. And like I do synth stuff. Like I don't know. Yeah, I'm guessing you can see that because I can see it
Yeah,
better.
I was wondering what it was. Well, like what the name would be of that synth.
That's a Juno 6. It's a Roland Juno 6.
That's
Um, yeah, it's really cool. It's like from the 80s. It's the only synthesizer I have, and it's like pretty basic. Like it's not that complicated. There's not that much you can do on it, kind of, which is what I like about it. It's like sort of there's like limitations. I feel like, which I like about it, and but yeah, I'm not very good at it. I'm not. But I for whatever reason, like yeah, I wish I was better at playing. Like I can't play the piano. I can't play like two-handed keys, but I can write melodies and then play them on the synthesizer and then make songs that work. Like in Bluff, basically, pretty much in all the songs I've released, there's synthesizer on it.
yeah. I was gonna say I could tell what you mean just because I mean honestly some of the melodies that you write, the way you put them together, at some points they kind of throw me off because it's not what I'd be used to. Like I'm used to listening to music and I can kind of guess what's coming up. And some of those melodies they caught me off guard, but then when they come together, I'm just like, oh yes, I really enjoy that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Um, it's funny you mentioned limitations because I'm someone that I embrace my limitations. It's something we talk about on the podcast and on our Instagram page. Um, do you find yourself enjoying having limitations? Like, does it make you more creative when when you're making or writing something?
Yeah, definitely. Like, well, I remember when I first got Logic, which is like the recording software that I use. I just remember like downloading it and looking at all the things you can do on there and just being like, this is insane. I'm like, it's way too much. Like I feel like you could dedicate your whole life to just learning all the things you can do on Logic and like just trying to learn everything. And so, which I was like, this is way too much information. I can't handle this. And coming from someone who uses or used like GarageBand always just to learn how to record, and GarageBand got way more advanced over the years. But when I first learned how to use it, it was basically just like you make a new track and then you hit record, and that's it. And like I would never really do anything to the audio. Like, I mean, sometimes I remember there was like a little reverb fader that you could slide up and down, and like that was all I would do to like the early demos. And I definitely still try to like stick to those limitations and keep it as basic as possible. Because it's so easy to just get caught up in the overwhelming amount of options that you have in Logic. And also I guess that could be true for pretty much anything. But yeah, as far as like limitations go, I think I try to keep things as simple as possible, because I think creatively that ultimately is yeah, those limitations definitely help me get things done, I guess. And
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed similar things even in my writing, in anything. If I tell myself, okay, you have to write a story you want to tell in 20 words. I'm like, oh, I can't really do that, and I'll write it, rewrite it, and eventually I have something I'm really happy with that I wouldn't have come up with if I didn't have those limitations in front of me.
yeah.
You know, I'm curious. I kind of want to show some of our fans just a 30-second clip of your newest song. Hopefully, encourage them to go listen to it on YouTube. Let's see. So I just want to show some of our fans just a small clip, nothing crazy. I'm hoping that the next video you come out with is one for Discoteca. Would I be safe in assuming that?
Yeah, that's the plan.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it, man. Let me see here. I'm just gonna play a 30-second clip. Maybe we can talk about the song, maybe how you came up with it, or any kind of origin story you might have for us.
Sure.
And that's it. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to listen to Spotify or go to his YouTube channel if you really want to hear his music. I would highly encourage it. Also, I just want to point something out to any of our fans. For me, it was really hard to find your YouTube channel unless I went to your TikTok. But every time I would look it up by name, it wouldn't come up. Your song Bluff would come up, but through someone else that uploaded it. So I do want to say, anyone watching, please subscribe to Nico Play on YouTube. I know that once you get to 100 subscribers, you can get your own customized URL. So hopefully it'll make your whole YouTube channel a lot easier to find in the future.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that so I can make a YouTube, customized URL.
You're almost there. I think you were like at 70 something followers when I found you, and now you're at 96. So 4 more, and you can kind of get that.
Very close now. But yeah. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
what can you tell us about Discoteca?
So that song I wrote originally as a rock song, kind of. Yeah, because I was playing with my band that is not really a band anymore. But basically, I was playing with my friend Wes and Brian, and we were trying to figure out. We had like, we were just like working on new songs over the summer, and I had this song that I wrote. It was very different when I first wrote it. It was like just guitar, and it was kind of like almost sounded like the Killers or something. I don't know. It's like very very rock.
Okay.
And I wasn't so sure about it. Nobody was that sure about it. It kind of we like play it, and then eventually it was like, yeah, whatever. That song just kind of like disappeared. We were like, I don't know, but they weren't very reassuring about it, and I slowly was like, yeah, I don't know about that song. And then one night before going to bed, for whatever reason, I don't know what happened, but I was playing the synthesizer, and I heard like just the synth bass and the drums. And I was like, I wonder, I guess just like the rhythm of it, the timing of it, I was like, I feel like that would work for that song. And so I stayed up pretty late that night, just like playing it, and I recorded it very, very quickly. Well, as quickly as I could. Just like recording a version of that song with that. And I spent like the next day, I basically got excited about it, and then I was like writing guitar parts and rearranging the song, revisiting the song completely and kind of like changing it around. And then I was like, oh, this is cool. I like it. And so I had a little demo of it, and then sat on that for a while. Finally, like finished all the lyrics and everything, and then recorded it and went to get it mixed. It's actually that was the last song I wrote. I mean, I have a lot more music that I'd written before I wrote Discoteca that I like have been working on for a while and trying to like finish recording. But I guess that song, well, I guess I didn't write it as recently, but basically I set aside what I was working on to like finish that song. So I was like, oh, this is like different and cool, and I was excited about it. And so I just like, busted out like all the instruments and lyrics and sent it off to get mixed and mastered, and then put it out.
It's interesting the timing of things. Sometimes, like I know I've worked on things and I feel so excited about them, and then it just kind of phases out, and then like month, 2, 3 months go by, and then I don't know where I start playing that same song. I'm like, oh, it's kind of now I kind of have new ideas around it. And do you think that because you were not in the band anymore and you were working on it yourself, it kind of made it it allowed you to kind of take it into whatever direction you wanted to take it?
Yes, I think so because yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole aspect of the song where it's like synth based and it's like sort of dancey like that. It's just you can't get that with the instruments that I was doing. I mean, we had like electric guitar, bass, and drums, just like traditional like 3 piece thing, and so that song sounded very much like garage rock because that's what we were doing or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think just once I like took it in the synth angle and like was able to explore that, I realized that I like the melody. I like the melodies that I had, and I like the rhythm of it. So yeah, it definitely. I was surprised that I once I had this different new version, I was like, oh, this is like actually there's something there. So yeah.
Nice. Is it when you're recording songs? I know it's well, you were saying that you were in a band recently. Have you always written songs that you feel like you might release on your own, or was it usually you're kind of more dedicated to the band and then you guys kind of write together?
Yeah, yeah. So for I was in a band for like 6 years,
Okay.
called Camp Howard, and we did 2 records and an EP,
Oh wow.
and so I was always writing for that. I mean, that was like I like Nico Play didn't exist yet, obviously.
By the way, is there anywhere people can find that if they want to listen to it?
Yeah, 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 it's on Spotify. And,
Okay.
it's everywhere.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be listening.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of songs. I mean, there's some old ones on there, and some not so old ones, but yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, I was writing exclusively for the band for a long time. I mean, that was like my whole life, sort of. It was just like writing for the band, managing the band, like booking for the band, and like being in the band, obviously. So yeah, um, I was writing for that, and then I don't know, got once like we split up basically during the pandemic and lockdown and everything, and I started working on stuff on my own and feeling good about it. And yeah, nowadays I pretty much write. I used to write for the live performance. Basically, it was like whatever song I'm working on. It's like okay, so I know that Brian's going to be playing drums and Matt's going to be playing bass and Wes going to be playing guitar or whatever. So I knew what I was writing for, and I knew the style that we had already developed.
Mm.
So it could only go so far in different directions. And now I feel like, I mean, I can do whatever I want, really, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like a song like Discoteca is like I hadn't done anything like that before, really. And once I did it, I was like, oh, I could go further out if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something I ask because I find myself always kind of stuck in this predicament of when I write music, am I writing it to play it live or am I writing it to be heard by people? And sometimes thinking of it as just it's going to be played live, I feel like it could limit me to what I do with it, like what I add to it, which can be good and bad. For example, like if you were to be told, "Hey, we want you to play live here." Do you think you would want to get a band together or do you think you would just want to go out there with one instrument and just kind of have the music in the background while you're playing guitar and singing?
I've thought about both. I mean, I think ideally I'd want to have a band. That's what I imagine.
Yeah.
But I've also thought about doing like the background thing as well. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it could be cool if it was done really well. I don't really know how to do that though. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it would be really nice not to have to hire other people because obviously that would be expensive and time consuming.
Well, I'll be honest. I can see it in your future, man. I honestly I don't know why. I just find myself drawn to your music, and I find myself wanting to see it live. And I hope that other people that listen find themselves thinking the same thing, and maybe we can all manifest it together. You know?
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love to play live. It's more of just finding, I guess, the right people and the right time, I suppose.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's something I'm working towards for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it because I know you've been releasing singles right now. Are you thinking of releasing an album in the future, or is it more? Are you trying to just see how things play out? Because I mean, the landscape of music is kind of different these days. I don't
Yeah,
think you necessarily have to bring out a full album to be known. Seems
yeah,
like people want to stream shorter and shorter content, so it almost seems to make sense to just release singles.
yeah. I've thought about it. I mean, I think I I'm sure I'll do a full record at some point. Um, I don't know when, and yeah, I think it's sort of right now. I'm just sort of feeling it out and trying to grow, which I think the singles are good for that, and also like less of an investment up front. And
Yeah.
like if like tomorrow I put out a full length record, like who knows? But I think just if I keep slowly building things, it's probably a wiser way to go about it, even if it's not as cool, maybe. I mean, obviously albums are cool, but yeah, singles are, yeah, like you said, it's just the landscape's changed and people want bite size and it's worked so far, I guess. And I kind of like the whole single thing. It's because when I first started making music, um, and first started releasing music, which was just like on SoundCloud. Um, that was just one song at a time, and that was cool in a way. It's just like I got home from school and wrote this song and like recorded it and I just put it on SoundCloud. Like, I mean, that was like a lot more immediate than like I could do now, but still, it was. I think the idea of taking it like one song at a time, there's something cool about that as well.
Yeah. Definitely a full concept. I almost feel like if you do a concept, or at least in my opinion, if I do an album, I would want to have like a whole idea for like the concept of the album. But I'm a big fan of like concept albums. Not everyone necessarily has to do that.
Yeah, yeah. I have. So I'm like kind of already like I write like that already, just having been in a band that was doing albums, and so I have a lot of music that I haven't released yet that I'm like planning and like have a concept for and like ideas, but just at the moment it's made sense just to be like this song would be good to put out instead of like the whole thing. But yeah.
Did you guys used to do a lot of live shows, by the way, your band?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we did plenty. Mm. Yeah, we go on tour and stuff. Obviously not since COVID,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, yeah, we used to, yeah, I mean, we've done plenty. We never went out west, but
Well, if you ever want to come out, feel free to let us know. We're happy to help out with anything we can.
that was like like a thing we always wanted to play in like LA. Just I don't know, we always wanted to go out there and just play California.
Because there's a lot of, I mean, LA's one city, one of the big cities, but there's just on the 10 freeway, there's city after city that have clubs, and there's a lot of different scenes. So you could definitely do like a small little tour just in Southern California.
Yeah, no, I think if I'm hoping that like I can get Nico play to a place where I can go play live and make enough money to do it. So if that is the case, I'm sure California would be like big destination.
Yeah. How, did you have a question?
I have stupid questions.
I don't think he minds stupid questions.
Yeah, maybe.
What's an artist you, dead or alive, you would want to collaborate with or play with?
First off, not a stupid question. Um,
Thank you.
David Bowie. David Bowie, I think,
Ooh.
would be a big one. Yeah, I think David Bowie would be my number one. Also like The Cure, but
Hmm.
I don't know. Like that could be. I don't know. I don't know about collaborating with The Cure. That could be crazy. But yeah, I'd say David Bowie. I mean, there's a lot of artists like now, like that I would like to work with at some point. But the truth is, I'm not good at collaborating. I feel like right now, because I've had like artist friends that are like, oh, we should like do something. Like ever since I put out Bluff, who were like, oh yeah, let's like make a song and like do this and that. And I've tried my hardest, and I just like suck at it. Like I had my friend Benet be like, "Oh, we should do a song together," and I was like, "Yeah, we should." And Benet's done like really well, so I was like, "I should definitely do that." And I spent weeks just like trying to make something, and at the end, I was like, "This is so bad." But I tried so hard, and I just couldn't do it. So I don't know. I feel like the pressure of collaborating was not the ideal for me because I was like, oh, it has to be perfect because it's like a once in a lifetime opportunity or whatever. I couldn't do it, and I just did it. but yeah, I mean, in a I mean, it'd be in a dream world. Yeah, I would love to write a song with David Bowie.
I can relate in that way. Usually, if I tell myself, you got to make something and it has to be good, I can't make something good. But if I go into it without any kind of expectations or any kind of stress, like pressure from what it has to be, things just kind of flow. And like, I don't really have to struggle to make something, whether it's writing or making music.
Yeah, I think I would imagine that's probably true for most people all around the different uh, like practices. I think I feel like it wouldn't make sense if you could just like make something great with like just sheer hard work. I feel like it would just drive you insane.
We're a podcast where we dive into a lot of topics. I mean, we're called Comfort is a Coffin because we like to talk about stuff that makes us feel uncomfortable. And I always ask people if they're ever willing to share something that does make them feel uncomfortable. Is there something that you'd be willing to share that makes you feel uncomfortable?
Oh, there's so much. I mean, I'm about to move. That's not very. I'm like about to put myself in an uncomfortable situation, basically. But
Oh,
Okay.
how so?
yeah, trying to move, trying to grow, trying to progress, change. But yeah, I mean that. I mean, I agree. Like, I'm living in a small town kind of now, and it's like definitely very comfortable. And there's like I know a lot of people here, a lot of good friends. Like, rent is cheap, like generally here. Food is cheap, and drinks are cheap. You can have a good time and not have to work like crazy. Um, so I think, yeah, I've been very comfortable for a long time and trying to get out and try something new. I've thought about. I'm either going to move to Chicago or New York.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a little bigger city discomfort grind for a bit. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure it'll go well. I feel like I have some of my best moments when I'm experiencing discomfort. not always, but most of the time in those kinds of situations, I end up finding who I actually, not just who I am, but who I want to be. Then it gives me the ability to actually start putting habits in that will help me be that person that I want to be.
Oh, I was gonna ask, what are some habits that you have that you think you might want to change?
I think drinking is not good. And I mean that like I don't think I necessarily have like I wouldn't say I have a drinking problem. I wouldn't say that. I would say I've noticed recently that I have good habits for like most of the week, and then the weekend comes around and I just like everything goes out the window and I drink and I like, wake up hungover. Just that whole cycle, I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, gosh, I think this is not good for me. Just I don't know. And I mean there's definitely a way to do it and like a balanced way to do it, but I think I've been dealing with a lot of like mental health stuff for a long time. So um yeah, I think changing my drinking habits, and I don't even like drink that much. I'm not like, you know, I think there'd be a lot of people who I think most of my friends drink more than I do, really, but I've realized that it affects me mentally in a negative way, in a way that it didn't used to. Basically, like I used to be able to drink and be fine, and now I'm like, maybe this is affecting me more than it used to. So
Do you think you're experiencing like shame from drinking, or is it more like
I think
depression
it's
that?
basically like depression and like just drinking. I try really. I have like really. I try my best to like stay.
Uh,
I was depressed for a bit, and like I basically like climbed. I've come a long way. I've like climbed out of the dark place that I was in, like grieving and mourning.
oh,
Not just not in a good place, but came a long way out of that, and I'm in a much better place now than I was like a year ago. Um, but still, I realize that the more I, um, yeah, the more I drink, the more that I can feel like I slip back into that. Or in other words, I feel like I make a conscious effort to really take care of my body and mind and like the basics of like eating well, getting good rest, like exercising. I like really try my best to do that, like with discipline, and it has helped me like tremendously, which is why I do it and like make an effort to do that. And I've realized that, um, yeah, I think drinking just like it's kind of like in a regular week I'll make like 3 steps forward, and then the weekend comes and I'll take a step back, and so I just think generally speaking, and obviously like the more I drink in a week, if there's like my friends are like, hey, we're going out to the bar, and it's like Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go, and then next thing you know, it's like, okay, I drank Tuesday night, and then I'll be like, oh, well, Wednesday somebody else invited me. It's like, okay, I'm going Wednesday night, and then there have been times it's like, okay, I've been drinking like 4 or 5 days in a row now, and like I feel like shit, and I need to not do this. But yeah, I don't know. I think like when I was in college, it was like everybody was drinking every night of the week, and I was okay because I wasn't dealing with depression at the time. It wasn't like I didn't. I was very much carefree and like in a very sort of childishly innocent, like good place. Where like I wasn't worried about World War III or like pandemic or like whatever. So
The world burning.
yeah, I was just like worried about what I was going to do that weekend or whatever, making sure that I didn't fail class. It's like, I think in that sort of mentality, it worked out, and I could like have a good time and feel good. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think now more and more I've realized like I gotta take care of myself just to feel baseline, like base level good. It's like all right. So
I mean, we would definitely be on the same page. I feel like because we've also been trying to make a lot of different changes to kind of just further make our mental health be at a better state. I feel like a lot of people coming from the last couple years might not even know where they're at. And I think I, with the help of Steph, realized in the last couple years that I've kind of been depressed for a long time. Didn't even know it. I just kind of was living with it. And my mechanism to cope with it was always to smoke weed. So that's something that I'm currently letting go of and currently trying to just not have in my life. Because in a similar way, I feel like it triggers a lot of different things where I'll smoke here and then I'll smoke the next day. And then it's like every single day, multiple times a day. And then I'm not even productive with the things I know I need to get done. And I mean, Steph, you've gone through similar issues with drinking, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sober for like what, 2 years now?
2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years? No, almost three.
Almost, well, when we started dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had a real problem with it. I think I started drinking like around, well, I got my first sip at 4. And then, like, you grow up in our culture, Mexican culture, where it's just like part of it in a way. And there's like not a lot of shame with it. So, but there's, in a way, it should be like the way that I've been, exposed to it.
mm,
And so I've been doing a lot better, like without the alcohol, just as soon, like, I always tell Luis, or sometimes he'll offer me like a drink, like, it's okay, you can have a little sip, you're not that crazy. But it's like one sip, it'll trigger like everything else, because I'll think like, well, if I got one sip down, why bother resisting.
yeah, yeah,
um
yeah.
anyway, I did want to ask something personal, if you're okay with it.
Yeah.
I listened to your song Vivir Sin Ti,
I love
and
that song,
I
bro.
I
Yeah.
cried, you know, obviously. And then I read on your Instagram that it was about your mom's passing.
Uh,
And I'm really sorry about that, by the way. My
all right.
condolences. But I did want to ask, without hopefully not going too much into your boundaries, by saying, like, if someone was to lose a parent, what would be something you would want to tell them, or that you wish you had been told as well?
That's a tough one just because I'm still trying to figure out the answer for myself, really. But I think one thing is, I mean, one thing that's really helped me is just like being closer with my siblings. Yeah, I think losing a parent can, it's weird because it kind of, and this might not be everybody's experience, but my experience, and also um, experience with like people who I know who've lost parents. It's like it just dramatically shifts the dynamic of your whole family, which um, I think that's a big part um, that is a challenge for me. And yeah, I don't know. I think what I would say to someone that lost a parent would be um, like you got to take care of yourself, like the basics, and also be open. I mean, I started doing therapy like not too long after. I had I had like I had something happen that just freaked me out, and I had to go. And I was like, I need help, you know. But I think admitting part of it, I think, is knowing that it's okay to like, you know, be sad and like grieving. Like there's really not much you can do about it, and it's normal. So I think being able to like accept that um, was helpful for me. Um, and yeah, my siblings helped me a lot. My sister who like kind of as a coping mechanism kept like a sense of humor through it all, but like which healthy or not, it was like helpful, I think. Like
Oh, that's
in the
good.
she's just I don't know, she was really strong about it and um yeah, she's helped me a lot. But yeah, I think ultimately time helps for sure. Um and yeah, I don't know. I think these days I'm trying to figure out healthy ways to like, because I mean, I basically feel like there is an unfillable void in my life, basically. Because you can't replace,
Yeah.
I can't replace my mom, and like she obviously she was my like favorite person. She was like, yeah, we were very close. We have a really good relationship, which I'm like happy about. I think back and I'm like, I really could not have had a better relationship with him. So I don't.
Mm.
I feel I'm lucky in a way that I don't have any regrets. Really, I don't have um
Resentment.
like yeah resentment or like unfinished like I
Business.
feel like
Yeah.
we had a great relationship and like she told me she loved me very often, and I told her I loved her very often. It was like, obviously, it sucks that she's gone, but yeah, I think I'm lucky in the way that our relationship, what like where we were at when she did pass away. And,
Oh, thank
yeah, I don't know. I think yeah, there's no. I think everybody's different. There's no right way to like deal with it, and I think just from my experience, therapy helped, physical exercise, good sleep, and making sure I eat healthy has helped. And I mean those four things and time were the key to me getting out of a very dark place.
you.
Oh, well,
Thank you so much for sharing.
yeah. Thank you for sharing. I mean,
I mean, if anybody out there is listening, like I hope that helps. Yeah, it's a tough thing for sure. It's not.
I think it's what you said about knowing that you can grieve, knowing that you can be sad. I think that's very powerful. I notice a lot of people in my life when certain things happen, they do kind of just brush it off, and
Yeah,
just knowing that you can allow yourself to go through the process that you should be going through is really important. And I'm glad that you were able to see that, or that you were able to, you know, understand that. Did therapy help in understanding that? I don't mean to pry more, but
yeah, it did, it did. Yeah, I mean that, and also just like talking with my family as well, and like we all we were. I mean, it's not like we talked about it a lot, but we were definitely like with my sister, with my brother, and my dad. I feel like we were pretty open about it and just talked about it when we needed to. And yeah,
yeah. You know, kind of just to switch subjects, what do you see, where do you see yourself in 5 years from today? Is there any kind of goals that you have that you've kind of planned on, or anything you kind of want to work towards?
yeah. There's definitely goals I have. I I go back and forth between like what is. I try to be realistic with my goals, I suppose. And the truth is, I don't know. Especially now, it's a weird. I'm in a weird point in my life where, like, I said I'm about to move. I don't know exactly where I'm moving, um, and I'm in a point in my life where I am trying to sort of like figure a lot of things out and sort of rebuild and heal and a bunch of stuff. So there's a lot that I don't know, a lot of answers I don't have, but there's definitely goals that I have. I mean, I want to play live once I figure that out. I would love to go on tour. There's places I want to play, places I want to replay, like places where my band played. There's, um, yeah, I mean, I think it all sort of depends how things go. I mean, if the music continues to like grow and I can continue to grow and get to a place where it's feasible for me to sort of continue pursuing this as a career, then I have like a vision for sure. But yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see. I think in the short term, it's more like I have the songs that I want to release. I have the concepts for like future releases. I have music videos I want to make, and I want to play live. And I guess I'm sort of starting to piece together who could potentially do that and where. But there's a lot of things to figure out still. Yeah.
Well, I always say that when I have something that I want to do, even as outlandish as it might be, I don't necessarily need to know the very next step, but I just need to keep heading in that direction, and the steps will kind of align themselves. I find that things start showing themselves to me, and I'm sure that the same thing will happen to you. Do you have any questions at all that you've been wanting to ask?
I have a dorky one.
Sure. I don't. I don't think it's gonna be dorky, but
Okay, it's dorky to me because I know other people might feel it's dorky. Sorry. Uh, what's your sign or your birthday?
I'm an Aries. My birthday is the 25th.
Oh, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's next week, I guess.
oh,
Do you have
nice.
any big plans for your birthday?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Chicago and
Live there?
and possibly live there. And yeah, we're having a little party. So
That's awesome.
Happy early birthday! I mean,
Happy early birthday.
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, we're also sun signs. We're Leos. Whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. Sorry.
I don't know much about it, but she
Yeah,
informs me.
I mean, I know. Yeah, I don't know too much about it, to be honest. I mean, I know what when my friends' birthdays are, but I don't know what it means. Like, I mean, the thing about Aries is that people are always like, "Oh, you're an Aries." Like, I've had people that are like, "I hate Aries, man," and then they're like, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm an Aries, man." They're like, "You're all right."
But not you.
But there's a lot of yeah. It's funny because I feel like everybody that finds out I'm an Aries or whatever, they're like, "You are definitely not an Aries," or I like hear things like that, and it's just funny. But yeah, I think the general guidelines of like, your sign. I mean, it's definitely interesting, um, but I feel like it's not strict. I feel like I could relate to a lot of things in a lot of different signs, but yeah, maybe I'll grow into more Aries.
Once you start touring, it's like, oh, I'm definitely an Aries.
Yeah, I know. I get along with a lot of Aries people. One of my best friends, she's an Aries. But like, I feel like your personality, what you're showing here, is different from hers. Hers is a little more chaotic, and she kind of fits the stereotype a little more.
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of stereotypes of these things.
Yeah, and for me, for Leos, it's like people make it seem like we want to be the center of attention. And I
Mm.
feel like it's like I feel like a lot of the signs and what people describe them as is kind of like a summary and what you could be as a person sometimes. Um, is there anything about other signs that you're just kind of like, no, I don't relate to you at all, or
I mean, honestly, like the Aries, like there's like things about Aries being like confrontational and like short tempered, I think, and like like very fiery, like fire sign or whatever, which I'm not like that really, like but yeah, I don't know. At the same time, like if I start to really think and like, because there's also things in the Aries that like I do identify with, like I guess like driven or things like that. So I don't know. I don't really know, but yeah, I think it's sort of vague. I mean, um, but yeah, I don't know too much about like all the different signs and what they are. Like, I honestly, the only reason I know the Aries ones is because they're like, people are like, "What are you?" And I'm like an Aries, and then they're like, "Oh, this is what that means." That's it. But yeah. I mean, I've definitely had enough conversations about Aries, at least.
uh, what's your favorite color?
I like green. I think. Well, I don't know. I like green was my favorite color as a kid, so I feel like it's maybe green if I had to pick one. But oh yeah, I like brown as well. Brown is
Brown's unique. A lot of people don't say brown, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like I have another one, which maybe in the future I can ask more lovely interviewees. What's your favorite bird?
Hmm. I mean, I love seeing birds of prey. Honestly, like and around here, like there's like owls,
Ooh.
Ooh.
like falcons and stuff, and I mean that's like the most like when I see an owl, I'm like, owl, like that's the most exciting thing. So probably an owl. Yeah, owls are awesome.
Owls are awesome. I agree.
Owls are cool. I know there's like a stereotype, like in the pueblos, like where my family's from, where if they see an owl, it's like a bad omen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, that's what I've been told by other.
Yeah. I think omens are also pretty vague as well.
Yeah,
but yeah, yeah. There's a lot. There's owls.
they're really pretty. Well, I like them. But
You like a lot of birds. She'll be trying to catch the ravens around here every now and then with like bread.
Oh,
they will be my friend once. I will get one friend.
yeah, yeah. My sister has talked about that, like trying to befriend. What? So is that your favorite bird? Is that your favorite
Ravens?
bird?
Uh, well, I would say it's not like my ultimate favorite bird, but I would want to like have one as a friend, just because like I've seen how intelligent they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other bird that I do like, which is like one of my favorites, is the puffin. It's because
Oh,
they almost look cartoon like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they just remind me of Toucan Sam, but like in real life.
They also only ever mate with one other bird, right?
Oh
Like
my gosh.
they have like a soulmate essentially, where they mate with someone and then they know they don't mate with anyone else again in their life.
I
Yes.
I
Like,
remember, sorry, I'm sorry. Continue. Okay, I was gonna say that someone put like a display puffin near like a puffin nest to see how they would interact, and that poor bird like fell in love with the display puffin, so he just kind of died alone,
Oh, that's
horrible. That's a tragic story.
right?
it's
But
horrible that it
it's
makes
like
me laugh a
it's
little bit.
horrible, but it's like how
Yeah,
crazy that the puffin like just wanted to be loved by this one thing that
Oh,
came to its nest. Like,
I didn't know that about puffins. I know swans are like that. Like they make for like,
yeah.
yeah, interesting.
Oh, well, you're actually our very first guest on this podcast in
which
terms of having people on.
Yeah, cool.
And we had told ourselves something um, that if we have a guest on, they're going to get a piece of merchandise from our podcast. So
Oh,
maybe in the future you can send us where you live so we don't send it to the wrong address and you can get a shirt like the one I'm wearing.
nice. Oh, I didn't
Just
know you guys had merch. I didn't even notice until now.
it's a
we're
work in progress.
it's a work in progress, but we want to just show our appreciation and give something back because we appreciate your time. And honestly, I see nothing but good things coming up on the horizon, along with all the, you know, there's pain in the world. I feel like life kind of just comes with it. And knowing that it's just part of the process and it's okay to go through it is so important to me. But I see a lot of good things coming your way, and just really happy that I was able to come into contact with your music and that you're here with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
thank you so much.
Is there anywhere specific that people could find your stuff? I know on Spotify, even Instagram and YouTube, but like your handles on like on TikTok and Instagram, it's just nicoplay.wav, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then your YouTube channel, which hopefully by the time we premiere this podcast is at 100, you can get that specific URL and anywhere you can listen to music, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's on like SoundCloud, it's on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we hope to have you on again in the future, Nico. Thanks for your time. I know it's a little later out in the day over there, but did you have any questions before we head out?
No.
Me?
Oh, I was asking Steph, but
Oh.
but I mean,
that.
I was gonna. Did you have any questions for us at all before we end the podcast?
Let's see. What is? I'm tempted to ask you the same questions you asked me. Can't do that. What's your favorite book?
Oh, actually, that's interesting because we're currently with some friends starting a little book club, and we're gonna do a book club episode of the podcast with them. And actually, one of my favorite books is the first book that we're gonna do, which is called The Giver. Yeah, and I love that book. I don't want to give it away, but it's kind of like about a utopian society in the far distant future, so you can kind of get the gist. But it's a really good book.
I don't think I read it, but I think I had a friend that read it in high school or something.
Yeah, it's very popular in middle schools and high schools. That's where I read it.
What's your favorite book?
I read just kind of the most recent book that I read. It's called A Gentleman in Moscow.
Ooh.
And I really enjoyed it. It was just really pleasant, and everybody in my family read it. I was the last one to read it. Well, actually, my sister didn't finish it. She got bored. But yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, I was just like, it's the sort of book that I like brought it with me to like a beach, brought it with me on tour, and I was like, every time I opened the book, I was like back in this little place, and it was like pleasant. I enjoyed being there. So yeah, probably that one. I recommend it.
Well, I'll definitely probably be reading it. I like getting book recommendations. I never know what to read, so.
Yeah, I mean,
What kind of book is it? Is it like a action or fiction?
no, it's like a historical fiction, I think, kind of. Yeah, I don't know what the exact. That's how I would describe it. I don't know about the official thing, but yeah, I mean, it takes place in Moscow. Obviously, the title, but it's like, you know, it's like in the early 1900s, and the book takes place over like a sort of long period of time, but it's like early 1900s Russia.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it sounds pretty interesting. We'll probably end up reading it.
Gentleman in Moscow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for the book recommendation. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, we'll have to say goodbye right now, but definitely we'd be happy to have you on in the future, and I'll be looking out for that music video. I know it'll take some time, but I'll be on there watching out.
Right on. Yeah. Hopefully, I'm not even gonna say a release date yet. 'Cause it'll get pushed back probably. So yeah, at some point soon. Hopefully soon. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, glad to hear it. We'll catch you next time, Nico. Thanks again for your time.
Thank
All right, thank you.
you. Buenas noches.
Bye.
See ya.